Oh, I could just look at this all day. I mean, Greatsword is just the best of the 14 weapons. But is it the best of the 15 weapons? Hello, my fellow hunters, my fellow wilds people in waiting. That's fine. I think we can go with that. I have, of course, been watching the trailer over and over on repeat endlessly since it came out. We are eating good, and it's awesome to have even more Wilds goodness to, I'll be real with you, endlessly analyze until at least August gives us the next trailer to endlessly analyze. But there is a couple very big things here. One in the trailer itself that we need to talk about that I already hinted at with the intro, but some externals too. So let's get the externals out the way before we get to the meat. Oh yes, and it is so tasty. When it comes to the actual site, all we have is, well, this incredible art being displayed across it. I cannot stress or go over or emphasize enough how absolutely badass of an image this is, and the fact that this is going to just be regular hunting in Wilds is wonderful. That said, the actual info isn't really too updated, except for very specifically on the monsters, where, yes, we have our new one. So yes, Balahara joins the fray, a desert-dwelling leviathan that uses their supple serpentine bodies, so hey, it's still a little bit snaky, to create quicksand traps for unwary prey. Sanding round in a circle real fast, loosening it all up, vortexing into the middle, very, very cool, like a antlion. In any case, though, that is kinda that. I'm assuming that the glowy bit in them is going to be somewhat relevant to how they function. It's interesting that there is this glowy bit, given the Windward Plains is all aglow with lightning, though that may just be a coincidence, but I will resist speculating on ecology till maybe we get to Wilds, and I can indulge myself there. Next up, and quite a big deal then, is this article to go along with the new trailer. The incredible new splash art again, but beyond that, some very interesting little tidbits. Of course, the trailer was called The Hunter's Journey, as it wants to kind of sell this narrative-driven adventure. We're going to go on the most story-rich Monster Hunter yet. I'm very excited for that, but we will see how it plays out. In any case, though, we have ourselves, yes, Balahara, and we get a little bit of detail on the actual spit that they fire at you, that it is a slick substance. I could totally see it being a status that bogs you down, makes it hard to move, makes it much easier for them to dig underneath you, put you in the sand trap, and there we go. It seems like a very much territorial response, and that's very much interesting. I wonder if it is tied to their glow and their unique internal biology, but again, I will very much resist that. We get this, which, yes, had confirms that it is a turf war that is happening. We have ourselves a doshaguma being attacked by the Balahara, and they are, well, going to go at it for us as we explore. But then this here, immersive seamless connection between story and gameplay. Again, really hammering that home, and again, we get this where we have the sand ship us first arriving in the Forbidden Lands, and, well, we are with the Forbidden Lands Research Commission, which I assume is like an offshoot from the New World Research Commission. It's still the Research Commission overarching, and then we have this mysterious Nata, who is totally super from the village in the Forbidden Lands, and I won't be dissuaded otherwise. But upon entering the Windward Plains, we get the attack on the Balahara, so clearly we're seeing here how it all starts, and how it seems to start is very wrongly, being swarmed by a herd of vicious, well, leviathan worms, which is really quite the way to start. Then we have this unknown extra huntery man that we help out, though he doesn't seem like he's too willing to fight them or avoid them. He kinda gives me Seeker vibes, but less known, and he's going to be the subject of, well, later in this video. But for now, well, yes, so we get a little bit of recap what actually saw, but here, this is big. Hunters can brandish their weapon while mounted atop their secret. Yeah, okay, great. Deters them approaching. Or the secret can be directed to avoid monsters automatically. That is an auto-dodge, and we see it in the trailer. We see our mystery man auto-dodge on his secret. We see ourselves auto-dodge on our secret. This is interesting, and how do you feel about it? I'm not sure where I stand. Obviously, you know, fighting on the secret isn't going to be the way. It won't be optimum, it won't be ideal, it'll be possible, and I think they have done this because they want you to have these cinematic moments they're really pushing, and if you're constantly getting, you know, clipped by monster attacks while running through the desert avoiding a herd, you're going to be constantly sent flying, and is going to really interrupt the flow. But is maintaining that flow worth automatically, without you even needing to input or help or do anything, avoid the monsters? But then it comes down to how complex is the auto-avoiding. I'm sure it won't just, you know, matrix dodge a complex series of combos from an Elder Dragon. I think it's more just it will basically move left and right relative to the monster in an attempt to get you not hit, as opposed to just perfect, you can't touch me, I'm a secret. And I love that it's called Secret. And I think in that sense, yeah, I feel like it's more here for flow than it is to be a powerful sort of, well, counter to any monster that's attacking you. But the fact you can whistle your secret in combat to get on it, and then maybe ask it to auto-dodge. Can you ask it to auto-dodge while you sharpen and heal on top of it? Because then we get into more layers and implications. So this is real interesting and a direction to go in that's going to have ramifications on difficulty. But until we know where the difficulty lands, hell, this might be needed. There might be just so much to manage on the secret that it helping you out is something that's required. And it does really speak of the secret's ability to learn, be trained, and be a little clever cookie there, dodging the monsters for you. So that's definitely something to mull over, and mull over I will. I have a feeling it's going to turn out to be rather minor, as I say, you're going to be wanting to fight on foot as much as possible, because that's where your full potential is, and I really do think this auto-dodging is just for these really cool, like, well, let's call them scenes, where you're avoiding herds of death. In any case, let me know what you think on that, but it's a big thing to have confirmed. Then we do have the mysterious large monster that I totally think is the flagship, but at the very least is a big deal, and I still love the kind of skeleton we're seeing here. And then we get the official name of the storms that suddenly make everything go from lovely to hellscape of lightning death, and they are sand tides, which is all well and good. And then just the reiteration that, yeah, it wants it to be cinematic, immersive, and we're seeing that with the trailer. The cutscenes becoming not the cutscenes, and a lot more cutscenes to take you through this adventure, but we'll see if that maintains throughout the game. What we're seeing here is the opening, and you want the opening to be dense with story because it's justifying the entire mission from the research commission that we're on. So, back to the actual trailer then. Our mystery NPC then. Clearly connected to this land, clearly lives here, probably connected to the village, might lead us there after this, I think also connected to the boy, but we're not here for story speculations, we're here for equipment speculations. A lot of people have messaged me about this, a lot of people have asked me, and yes, it's something I very much noticed straight away too, but it's not something that I think was wise to delve into with the initial reaction, because it deserves a fair discussion. What our friend here is holding is very much a new piece of equipment. And I say equipment there instead of weapon because it's, of course, a bold call at this stage to be like, aha, there it is, new weapon, boom, look at it go, little hook stick spear thing, haha. But the fact remains, he is holding a little hook spear stick thing with rope attached to it that is clearly some sort of implement he uses to navigate in this harsh environment to defend himself. And that is interesting. Now, the initial reaction here is, of course, this isn't going to be a new weapon. They're not going to reveal a new weapon so subtly in the trailer without mentioning it. But the thing is, they reveal monsters subtly in the trailer without mentioning it, like the new Leviathan from last time. So it wouldn't surprise me in a world where we get like a hint of it and we're like, is that? I don't know. And then a couple trailers later, they're like, yep, it was, here it is, look at its moveset. But at the same time, if it was the hunter holding it, then that holds a lot more water. But it's neither water nor the hunter holding it, it's our mysterious man here. And the thing is, he doesn't have a weapon pouch on his secret, so that also is an interesting indicator. But at the same time, the people of the Forbidden Lands, of the Wind Plain here, they clearly know how to exist in such a brutal, harsh environment filled with literally so many monsters. They will have tools for dealing with them. So the idea that we learn a new way of fighting, of hunting from them, and it involves this sort of roped spear stick, that's definitely curious and I don't think completely out of the question. And the actual weapon itself, or again, piece of equipment, is also decorated as if it looks like it's a secret bit of equipment. Secret as in the mount, not secret as in, shh, don't tell anyone. Just like his armor, it looks like it's got monster parts. It almost looks like it is X-Monster's rope hook spear. And that is a little bit more credence to it, a little bit more interest. If you could stab with it, and then alternatively you could throw it, and then pull back on the rope to free it from the monster and hold it again, you can kind of imagine a moveset there. And he must be using it for a reason, right? It can't be useless. It must do a thing. He's not just walking around with this cool feathered hooked stick with a rope tied to it because he really likes the vibe of the thing. This must be for a function, and that function is of yet to be revealed. It doesn't look maybe deadly enough to be a weapon, but at the same time I could totally see it being teaching us a new vital piece of equipment to operate in the Forbidden Lands to go along with our slinger. Maybe he will actually add to our arsenal in a different mechanical way. Maybe this spear stick combines with the existing 14 weapons to open up something expanded. That could certainly be a potential. Of course, it's entirely possible and maybe even likely that it's just a bit of flavor for this NPC, but the thing is, we have never seen an NPC with a weapon, at least to my memory, that isn't a hunter-player weapon. The closest is the Seeker in World in Iceborne that has half an insect glaive. The glaive, but no bug. So there is a certain something to that. Honestly, I think this guy might end up being the chief of the village that we end up with, and us saving in is then this big inroad, and maybe it's just sort of ceremonial, maybe it's just something he holds, but the rope that's tied to it really implies functionality. You know, I think it's a really difficult thing to try and ascertain if it's going to play any role whatsoever, or it indeed is just quite simply a case of we thought it would be cool for him to have this little thing. But, like, why? Why bother even giving him anything to hold? Just have him riding around on a secret if there isn't some sort of significance to it. So, my current bet is along the veins of a new addition to hunting, like the clutch claw that we learn from him once we get to the village and save it from the bears, and not quite a new weapon, and perhaps not quite a completely random, irrelevant bit of flavor that he is holding. let's go with that. But I definitely think there is a lot to ruminate on. So that's kind of that then for extra little details, external informations. There's actually a lot that I have noticed and want to talk about our new lightning friend, but Mr. Thor Magala, as a few people have called him, which I think is hilarious, will have to wait, because, like, there is a whole bunch of stuff that I want to go over with him, what he could mean, and all of that loveliness. For now then, what are you guys thinking? And of course, yes, crossplay is something that should always be stressed that we are getting, which is really, really nice. But yeah, Monster Hunter is definitely getting a lot that it didn't have before. Even just the auto dodge on the mount is certainly something to think about. But in any case, for now, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.